welcome to Paperback Flicks. Yeah, so welcome back to Paperback Flicks. I'm Rae Davidson, and I'm here with a couple of ladies. We have, of course,
Ruth Craddock.
Ruth Craddock. And then we are also joined tonight by author Lee Wilder. So we have a little bit of a different genre, which is fun for me because we do a lot of the authors have been either the sci-fi or the young adult. But Lee does children's illustrated. Are they picture books or are they?
Yes, these are children's picture books. So.
Cool. What are they, like a series or are they separate books?
So they are a series, but they can be read in any order because they are a series in that they are thematically related.
Mm-hmm.
So the series is called Endangered Fairytales.
Okay.
And they are all classic fairy tales that have been retold to teach kids about endangered animals.
Oh, that's a fun idea. I like that. What inspired that? Where did that idea come from?
So I've always had a love of stories and fairy tales and all of that. I'd say it probably actually came from, I was scrolling through Pinterest one day and I found a picture of a baby red panda with a group of kittens nursing with a mother cat. And I went, is that photoshopped? Is that real? Could that actually happen? And so just going through this unnecessary, hyper-focused deep dive in the life cycle of red pandas and whether or not it matches up with cats.
That's what Pinterest is for, right? The internet.
So this story was born as I noticed similarities between that and the story of the ugly duckling.
Oh, okay. I like that. That's fun. Is that the first one then?
Yes, so that was book one. So
and what's that one called? The first one.
Book one is called The Ugly Kitten.
The Ugly Kitten. Okay. Nice. I like it.
Is Three Little Otters, and book three is Goldie Scales and the Three Honey Badgers.
I like it. That's cute. That's really cute.
But so my sister has these. She'll read it to her kids, and then they get to the point that like they kind of get used to the words that go with the pictures. And so as they're learning to read, they like to use these books, but also before they're really reading, they'll have it memorized or close to it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that's, I know in our school, in our kids' school, they do recitation a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, these kind of things, they're perfect. So
yeah,
I thought that was really cool.
That's cool. It's a really fun idea. How long have you been published now?
So I believe 2020 was when I started. I had a Kickstarter back in 2019, which was successful to get the funds to pay for the illustrator and the ISBN and all the other stuff to get into that.
Oh yeah, shout out to Jeffrey Moss, Lilith
Valbali.
Oh, yeah. She did these two.
Yeah, so these two were by Lilith, and then Jeffrey is doing book three, or did book three, and is doing book four.
Oh, wow. What's book four going to be about?
It is Axolotl, a retelling of Rumpelstiltskin.
I love it. That's such a cute idea. That's very, very unique and interesting. Oh, fun. So what led you to become an author? Was it something you always wanted to do, or just something kind of stumbled into?
I mean, it's always been something I've had in my brain as like an idea or an option. I would say I really considered it when my friend got published a couple of years before me. And so watching her go through the process and helping her with some of the stuff and just having like the ability to really watch it hands-on without it being my patience and time. And then also like, I wrote this just kind of as a mental exercise initially, and then she read it and was like, you could totally publish this. And so she helped me learn the ropes for how to publish and where to go and what you need to do.
So then did you just automatically started the independent route? You didn't try a traditional publisher?
I was pretty sure I was going to be independent pretty early on. For one thing, if you go through a traditional publisher, you do not get to pick your illustrator, and there were just some very clear visions in my brain that I wasn't willing to let go of, and I needed the creative control to make it come to life the way I felt it needed to.
Yeah. I can definitely relate. I'm an illustrator myself, so that was my hardest part about when I was looking in traditional publishing, finding out that the author doesn't get to decide their covers or anything. I was like, that's a problem for me. I am a control freak. I mean, I know what I want, so yeah, I totally get it. So I think you did right. So they look beautiful. They look great.
Yeah. The big holdback, especially for children's picture books, is that it is a larger initial investment, because most covers at max, usually you can get a good cover for like 20 to 50 bucks depending on the genre, up to 500. Your average children's picture book, if you are paying an illustrator what they should be paid, starts at about $20,000, or no, $2,000. I added a zero. Just
Okay, that's a little more, you know.
Because I know what I'm going to do now.
I'm like, I'm in the wrong business. Start doing it for other people. Nice.
Yeah, I know that with some people that tends to be something that they're like, you're like, I have this great story, I have this great idea, or I have this great art, and then you kind of either don't know where to go, which causes stagnation, or it causes you to waste. You waste a lot of time, you waste sometimes a lot of money, and sometimes it can discourage people.
Yeah.
Whereas this, especially for her, for this situation, it worked perfectly. Now we get all of these cute little.
I mean, there was a little bit of a panic with book one. The Kickstarter was fine. I had a lot of anxiety because I wasn't funded until about 3 days before the end of it, but I did get funded. The problem was actually about a month or two after the Kickstarter ended, the pandemic happened.
Oh gosh.
And so I was going back and forth with my illustrator. Lilith lives in Italy. And then about 2-3 months in, she goes dark.
Oh wow.
I hear nothing. Italy is closed down. I don't know what's happening. And I don't hear from her for 3 months.
Oh wow.
Dying.
Look at that anxiety. That
I was like, is she dead? Do I need to
I
get
hope she's okay.
forward with this? I've already invested several $100s into her. Now where am I going to pay for the next illustrator? So the back and forth, and then she just from the void pops up and it's like, hello, my family was sick. And I'm like, I bet they were.
Yeah.
Everyone was sick.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, that would freak me out.
Yeah.
That's nerve-wracking. Yeah, definitely. I'm glad it worked out.
Yeah, she's a delight. I do plan to work with her again. It's just, yeah.
So, okay, so you mentioned Kickstarter.
Yes.
And then I know that you do other things like reading for schools, or so tell us about some of the like extra outreach, because that's another thing that I know a lot of indie authors or artists don't really know where to go, how to get their own work out and seen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So especially with like children's picture books, it's a lot of either selling a personality, because parents already have ideas of what they want their kids to be reading, and you have to try and sort of get your way in there to be like, but also me. Because there's like Berenstain Bears, there's Corduroy, there's Winnie the Pooh, there's all these classic lit stories. And so a lot of parents are already like, well, I know that I want them to have this and that. And you're like, but also me, I exist. So that's where a lot of in-person events are really good. I like to think I have a charming personality. At the very least, I am the most innocuous woman you have ever met. Absolutely non-threatening and child-friendly. So I can get to be there in person and explain the books and my ideals behind it and why they are the way they are. And that really helps sell them as you get to like sort of share a dream and share a like goal of different things. And so things I have done, I have gone to schools. Through that, it has started with like I reached out to my old elementary school and was like, hey, teacher, remember me? And sometimes they do. And it would be like, do you have any openings in your school? What do you need me to do? I would love to come to your class. And so going with first finding people you know, and also being brave and reaching out to people you don't know. And I also have something for doing like school specifically. I'm like, okay, I have free tier for like some of the lower income schools or schools who are like, I'm not putting money into I don't know you. And then I've got like a cheap where I like bring like a coloring book and we like have a Q&A and stuff. And then I've got a more expensive one where it's like I will bring picture book the books for kids and I will have like whatever like custom craft to go with it. So having like things to go with the books, you're selling an experience then.
Yeah, and
That's
I
very
like
creative.
so something that this is why I'm not an independent anything is because you have to be okay charging people. I know that's silly, but like I am constantly the person that's like, I'll make something and I'm like, here's this thing that I made. And then people are like, that's beautiful. And I'm like, just take it. Like, I don't know. Like,
just share my love.
yeah. They're like, ooh, but do I want to put money into that? I'm like, that's okay. Just appreciate my thing. And that doesn't make a living.
It does not. So that's the thing that gets me into charging people is remembering and telling myself that the illustrators deserve to be paid. This gorgeous art deserves the money that it gets, and there cannot be the next book until I pay for this one. And so that's I share that problem too with not wanting. I'm like, but I'm just here to share the joy of it, and but also I have bills to pay.
Right.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
But you're now part of that cycle with me.
Yep. But yeah, so I like that there's the multiple tiers or there's like options. You don't have to like if a kid has this one, you don't have to be like, now I gotta get the others, but they will want the others because they're like, there's more of these. I kind of like that. But like the Dr. Seuss or like the Berenstain Bears that you're talking about. That like we had almost every single Dr. Seuss. I don't know if we still do, but like I don't know. My youngest kid is 9.
They get loved to pieces.
Yes, but they totally do this too, where we'll get something and they'll love it, or they'll have somebody read it. Their librarian or the author will read that and they'll be like, "I need this right now." It's Dogman, I guess, is the one that my kids are super into, and I'm like, this is not even like interesting to me. As a kid, I was not interested in this kind of thing. But whoever read part of it to them or whatever just made it something that they love. And now I'm spending $12 or whatever every time they have a new one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if there was someone who maybe is an illustrator or had a cool kind of original idea like you were talking about, is there kind of advice that you would give them? Is there a way that you would kind of point them to be successful at this?
So some things that I would recommend is first finding a good support group, whether that's in person or online or a mix of both. There are lots of like things on Facebook and things on Pinterest, things in person, for like finding a community of people who share your goals, share your beliefs. It really helps push through when you have writer's block, if you get depressed, if you get like people start telling you like it's not original, it's not going to sell, or just having someone to keep the positivity, to keep your little flame alive really helps. The other thing ties into that, which is perseverance. This is a marathon, not a race, and also the only person you are competing with is yourself. Nobody else's numbers matter. I have to remind myself of that all the time.
Well, and I understand that it's good to set goals, give yourself maybe deadlines, but don't feel like, at least you're not with like the traditional publisher that's like, do it by now,
or no money.
right, yeah. So do you set pretty stringent goals or whatever for yourself, or do you kind of let that just come as it comes?
I rarely set timelines for myself, but I do set goals for myself. Like if I get X number of books sold, then I will go and I will do this thing, which also ties in a bit more into things like because of how much it costs to illustrate a book. But it's also like if I have X number of books sold, that proves that there is interest for me to now have both time and money to afford to put into like I'm doing research right now into like study guide helps that can go along with these, like what do teachers want in a classroom, what can I do to make them want me.
Mhm.
And
That's cool.
one of the quickest answers to that is plan the lesson for them.
Give them the context already.
Yes. So that's how you would get into an elementary school, is learning what lesson plans and such that teachers are trying to teach, and find ways to engage students with that through your stories.
Mhm.
Okay. That's cool. Well, so Ruth, I know because you have a lot more experience in this field, I'm an appreciator of the field, but I don't actually have experience in it. So are there any kind of questions that you feel like people may not know to ask?
Yeah, I guess how did you what route did you go for publishing? Did you go with Kindle? Did you go with somewhere else? How did you go about with that?
Okay, yeah. So I went through a company called Ingram Spark, and they are a self-publishing wide distribution company. Wide means that they go through multiple end selling points. For example, if you go through KDP, it is available through Amazon end of list. There is an option to do wide, but you make less money through that. Anyway, but so through Ingram Spark, I will pay money to upload the manuscript, get it approved and everything, and then once it is released, without me having to do anything, it is available on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Target.com. If you have a digital one, it's available on like Kobo, any ebook distribution. So it makes sure that the stores have access to it for me, which I would not have had really the brain to do without them. So I'm very grateful to them and their distribution system that makes it easier for me to get my books in the hands of readers.
Yeah, that's very
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah.
And also, we're gonna, so on our website we have links to all of R.K. Lee's stuff, and also Ruth's through R.J. Craddock. And then they're also, I believe they're in the links under those videos, aren't they? Under those interviews.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
I'll have to
And
double check.
so we're gonna do the same for Lee, but go ahead and say I don't know if you've got several, like if you just say go here, or if you've got your own site, but go ahead and give us that information.
I do have my own website. It is leewilderbooks.com. I can also give you a link to my Amazon author page, which is another thing I highly recommend making, just because it helps you reach greater audiences, and Amazon's more likely to help promote your books if you prove that you're a person and not a bot.
Good to know. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so we're gonna put the links up on our website. We'll have them in the description, and check her out. Do you have any idea when the Oxalotl is coming, or are we not sure yet?
Yes. So goal is to get it out late May, early June, specifically the first week of June. And just as I suppose an announcement as well, I will be at the Phoenix Fan Fusion Comic-Con the first weekend of June, and I will be selling my books there. I haven't been given my table number yet, or I would tell you. I will also be doing a story time there dressed up as Princess Anna. This is going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to have crafts.
Sounds cute. Sounds like a lot of fun. I have one question. Where did the pen name Lee Wilder come from?
So Lee is part of my legal name. So if you shout it across the room, I'm still gonna go, what? Because it triggers in my brain is that's me. And then Wilder is because it's all about like endangered animals and nature. And it felt thematically appropriate.
Nice. All right, I like that. That's cool. All right, is there anything else you want to share with us or with future readers and fans?
For future readers, I mean, it's always worth at least reading the first page. Maybe advice for future writers. Everything's a marketing opportunity. Like I have coloring pages that I'll give out as handouts, and on out every single one is a little thing that says Lee Wilder, Amazon.com/ and then so it's like this picture came from this book and you can get it here.
That's very clever. That's very smart. Yeah.
There you go. So so you said you had coloring pages.
Yes.
Is it something that you just kind of hand out? Were you doing a compilation?
I do have a coloring book. I don't currently have it up on the website because I made it through a local print shop and I haven't figured out quite how I'm going to be distributing that. The individual pages themselves are generally for in-person events, specifically like when I go to schools as like a handout for the kids, because they enjoy getting to get something. I think I did bring it. Just other things that like you can mark. Yeah. So like, I paid for something called commercial rights, which means that I have the right to sell the artwork in the books. And so I get to do things like this, which is a matching game made out of artwork from my books.
Oh, cute.
Also currently only available at in-person events. I'm figuring out the website, but technology is not my friend. This is why I write. It's a common.
You'll get there. Well, that's fun. It seems like you've got like a whole plan, like a whole
I have big
roadmap for what you're doing.
Holding me back is money and brain space.
Well, it sounds like you're going to be a great success. I think they look really, really cute. I'll probably get them myself. And yeah, it was very nice to meet you. Anything else you want to share?
I think that's it. You had talked about me potentially showing some picture pages, but if we're out of time, then
we have whatever time you have. Okay. So we can do that. I can take this off of my screen here. Where did I go? Open. The trouble with having 3 screens is
where is your mouse?
All right. So then if you want to, I'm going to kind of come right back into the edge of the screen here.
Yeah. So books 1 and 2 are watercolor styled illustrations.
Oh, nice.
So
oh, cute.
I loved Lilith's artwork because of how good she is at expressive animals, and that's part of why I chose her. And so just kind of showing some random pages.
I don't know that I would call it an ugly kitten because red pandas are just adorable. It's like the adorabler kitten.
You're very adorable, but if you're calling it a cat, that don't look right.
Yeah, it's true. But they
Yeah.
do look snuggly like a kitty, so.
They do. And they like to stand up on two legs and pretend that they're large and threatening. That's a thing
Oh.
that they do.
I did not know that. That's cute.
It's very cute. It also
That's
makes
not what they're
their
going for, of course, but
So then here is this one, and so this one's Amazon River otters.
oh, okay.
And then this is a black caiman. So these are both found in the Amazon river ecosystem.
Cool. Oh. Nice.
And then just to show you, so at the back of each book comes with and
Tilted.
focus.
With some facts. That's nice.
Yeah. So animal
Cool.
facts and a bibliography for references, because each book does have educational material in teaching kids about, like, there are facts hidden throughout about the animals and such. Book 3 and also book 4, the stories themselves felt more anthropomorphic in nature, and
Okay.
so I decided to go with a slightly different art style, and so this is actually papercraft.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
So Jeffrey went and did all of these hand cut out images,
Wow.
glued them together, and then we scanned in all of the 3D images to get
Wow. Very cool.
very
That's
cool
creative.
art. I think, let me find my favorite page.
To my thinking, that's so labor intensive. And then I think about, so Ruth has another site, Too Many Freaking Crafts. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
And it's like a 12-part series making dolls, figurines. It's intense. So apparently this is just not my speed.
Some people are very into it.
Some
but I
people like
love
to
this
make things
very
overly complicated for fun.
face. Is the best face.
Oh, yeah. That's cute.
Yeah, they're very cute. And the little match game, I've seen those. Those are really fun too. My kids, I think I think that's like the safest kid thing to make.
Yeah.
Every kid that I have ever known likes match games.
Like matching, they like cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
So
fun to hold, and if they're cute and cute pictures, they like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, really cool. Really nice meeting you. And yeah, I hope everything keeps going great. And I can't wait to read your books. And I hope you get your next book out real soon.
Well, thank you.
so excited for Oxalotl.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of kids, when I'm like telling them that it is, they're like, I love Hexalotl.
Yes.
Okay.
I
You're a
think-
Minecraft fan. I get
think
it.
we might have Minecraft to blame for that, but that's okay. However the love gets out there, it's out there.
All
All right. Well, we'll have the links. We'll have it on our site as well. So Paperback Flicks, you can go directly to, it was Lee Wilder author page or
LeeWilderBooks.com.
books.com. Sometimes I'm smart and sometimes I'm just me.
Sometimes you're just cute. You know, you can't always be both.
Very cute.
That's what I do. All right.
All right.
Well, thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Lee Wilder here with Rae Davidson.
Ruth Craddock.
Thanks, guys, for joining us.
That's it for season 1, Paperback Flicks. Please join us next time when we start season 2 with Bruce Jackson's Sea of Monsters and our special guest, Ethan Clark.